Nice. All right, welcome to the Accra Esports Week. It is day 3 of the exciting big new experience in esports in the nation, in the city, and of course on the continent Africa. And of course, today there's a lot in store. Mind you, over the 2 days we have witnessed the FIFA Conquest, that is the FUT Championship, come in play. We have also seen the Clash Royale game happening, and mind you, there are about 10 different games to be played as well. Today we are here to play the NBA2K23. It has been nicknamed the Slamdunk Championship, and so stay tuned, there's a lot coming. But then, my name is Vespa Kofi Sapon, your official host. I'll be doing this with my brother.
Oh, I'm Watson Alexander, and in the gaming space, when I come, my name is Slimo.
All right, so Slimo, how you doing today?
I'm good. I'm really excited for this one as well. With the way day one started, I'm expecting the same energy, and of course, with NBA 2K23, the energy is up there.
All right, the energy was indeed wild on the first day and of course on the second day as well. But today we are expecting same level, same top-notch level, same exciting gameplay as well in the 2K23 tournament we're about to witness here. But mind you, this event is brought to you by, of course, the Esports Association of Ghana, the Pop-Out Innovations of Imaginations. I had to take my time with that one. It's very important. So shouts to Mr. Maximus Ametogo, the CEO right there. Also, we are being supported by Play Province. Of course, they are supporting with their players who are in there in the tournament, and they're supporting with all resources available to them as well. Also, shouts to the French Embassy for holding us down. Shouts to Letty Arts. They are in the building, and they, of course, will be bringing to us some demo along the line. But then, shouts to Esports Academy for hosting this particular event also. Shouts to Motherland Gaming. They are in charge of some gaming aspects of this particular festival. They are in charge of the Call of Duty, the Apex, and those FPS games, the PUBG Mobile as well. So we'll be seeing some action of that side too. Shouts to Motherland Gaming, and of course to Ultium Gaming Lounge, who is a very big part of this event as well. So this is what we have on our hands today, NBA 2K23. So we'll be back after this break, and after this break there's an exciting match coming up. Stay tuned. It is the Accra Esports Week. Okay, ready. All right, welcome back to the stream. Mind you, we are streaming live on Facebook and on YouTube. It is the Accra Esports Week channel. So on Facebook, on YouTube, but then also you can follow us on all our social media handles for a lot of information that you'll be getting right here from us. And so on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter, on YouTube, on Twitch as well. It is the Accra Esports Week. But then, like I mentioned, we have an NBA2K 23 championship here today. But then tell us more about this particular championship. What are your expectations, Slimo?
Well, it's indeed the best of the players in the country, so expect nothing but the best from them. I'm expecting them to also struggle a bit with the new iteration in the game. NBA 2K20 has changed a lot comparing it to 2K22. The shot meter has changed. I'm hearing health bars and everything has changed.
Wow,
and
that's
course,
interesting.
We've got roster changes as well, which happens every single year. So I'm expecting some struggling, but some big names in there as well. Maybe we'll not be seeing any surprises today, but hopefully we enjoy ourselves. And of course, the Accra Esports Week is bringing you fun all over the games.
Of course, fun all over the games is what we are expecting here in the building. So without wasting much time, we are going to jump into a game that's happening right now. And that game is happening between Terry and, of course, Chris. It's an exciting match as it looks like. It's already begun. And so we are definitely going to jump into that in any moment from now. But then you were talking about some big names in this particular franchise of the game this year. Can you mention a few, particularly the teams as well? Which ones are the ones performing? Which of the players are the ones to look out for?
Well, this year 2K23, since the game was released, you can tell a lot of teams are going for the two finalists, the Warriors and the Celtics, as you are seen on the stream. Later in the stream, I'll be telling you more teams that players are looking out for. But finally, we get into that first matchup. Mind you, Terry going for the Boston Celtics with this one having. Well, Terry with the Golden State Warriors having a very big lead, leading by 20 points to 7, while Chris really struggling with the Boston Celtics. We are seeing a rematch of the 2022 finals, but it wasn't as easy as this for the Warriors. As we can see, well, Terry looking for another basket under the rim. Steph Curry with the ball with the shot clock running down into Andrew Wiggins, a 4-shot. And of course, Jason Tatum is definitely going to grab the rebound. So when you look at the lineups, you can tell that the Celtics have gone for their usual starting five. We've seen Jaylen Brown in there. Jaylen Brown with a second chance point. He gets that offensive rebound to go. Jaylen Brown, who's been really hot this year. I'm looking for him to be entering into that all-star game as well. Steph Curry now with the ball for Terry. And Terry with that shot from distance, and he hits. Well, couldn't hit that shot. And of course, the Celtics do grab the rebound, and Marcus Smart going to the line. But it's really interesting to see how these two teams match up. In real life, it seemed like the Warriors had everything under control, but the Celtics really gave them a run for their money, and seeming as if Chris is getting back into the game. Do you think the way he's scoring, he might just close the gap?
It looks like probably he's warming up slowly into this game right here. So, well, maybe he could get close. But then, of course, Terry is looking dominant in this one. And, of course, obviously, at the end, we are in the third quarter, mind you. So, we're getting very close to finishing. But so, I'm hoping that Terry continues with his dominance right there. But then, talking about these two teams right there, the Golden State Warriors and, of course, the Boston Celtics, they were in those final. How many final games did they play? Was it 5 or 7?
Well, they got to 5 games.
Wow, 5 games before we actually had a winner in there. And so these two teams are no easy teams at all. So seeing them play in this manner.
Well, to make that correction, Boston won 2 games, so they went to a game 6. So it was
game
6
6
games.
Interesting.
And then the Warriors won it. And well, the Garden City, where of course the Boston Celtics played their home games. I'm sure it was a very difficult one, but Chris with that rebound, he can go on that fast break. Marcus Smart getting into Al Horford with the slam, a first dunk of the game, and of course this tournament being nicknamed the Slamdunk Championship. Hopefully we see some ferocious slams in there, but after 3 quarters, Terry leading by 7 points. It's 20-13. The Warriors out in front. As we are seeing the first play of the day, Klay Thompson lobbing it into Andrew Wiggins. And mind you, it's 2 quarters per game. Of course, it's a tournament, so you have to come out with your best and come out really, really quickly. Here we have Jordan Poole, Terry looking to size up the defense. And of course, calling the pick and roll from, well, Kevon Looney as
what
Jordan
is he waiting
Poole
for?
Under the rim, baiting his defenders, and of course getting that fake shot to fall for him. Jaylen Brown on the other end for Chris, or switches it back to Derek White, but they lose the ball cheaply, and that is what has been hampering the Celtics this year, losing the ball cheaply. And it seems like Chris is also following suit. Jordan Poole crosses that defender, fakes the shot, cuts it back into DiVincenzo. The Warriors bench right now on the floor for Terry. He has to hoist one up. Jordan Poole definitely going to miss that one. It was a forced shot and really well contested from the Boston Celtics. I feel like in this game, the Celtics defense is really up there, but I'm not really too high scoring guys. Do you think there's anyone in history who could ever pass a 3-point scoring?
I doubt. One thing I love about Steph Curry is that mojo he has, that with God all things are possible. I mean, it is one thing that has kept him going for long. And of course, 3-pointers, there's no other name to mention than Steph Curry. Of course, Klay Thompson partnering with him there, getting in those very, very vital points. But in this particular game we are seeing here, I think Terry should be doing more. I want to see more of those beautiful 3-pointers. It looks so lovely when it's hoisted and it's lofted right in the air before bending into the basket. And exactly, those are what I want to be seeing in here. So Terry,
step back three, Curry once more. When he gets hot, there's no stopping the chef himself. Chef Curry cooking in the fourth quarter, as you'd expect. The Boston Celtics really, really in trouble. Chris nowhere to be found at the moment. Fast break, DiVincenzo. Wiseman gets it. It's a Curry once more. Launches another three. Well, this time around, he misses. And Jaylen Brown grabbing that rebound. And that spells the end of the game. Terry winning this one and winning big by a 15-point margin. What do you think went wrong for Chris in this game? It seems like all the shots weren't falling.
I mean, that was almost a 2-times scoreline victory right here. 30-15 right there for Terry. Of course, Terry started dominantly. I mean, he gave that lead right there. And that was almost too difficult for Chris to catch up. Chris looks like one that slowly comes into a game, and so obviously we saw him trying to catch up, but then he left it too late. And of course Terry did that business so cleanly, so well, and that is exactly what we want to be witnessing right here at the Accra Esports Week. When it is day 3 and we are witnessing that slam dunk championship. Of course, we are playing the NBA2K 23 right here, and so there's a lot of action today. In fact, this one is just a starter. That was
the tip of the iceberg.
A tip of the iceberg. That was just a curtain raiser. But then of course it was very exciting for me. I don't know about you.
Well, I really enjoyed what I saw with the Golden State Warriors. If you are looking to use them, you have to utilize their backcourts. Klay Thompson and Steph Curry, of course, one of the best backcourts ever. And of course, we just saw Steph Curry do his thing, and it's just so good to see Terry in this kind of form going into the competition, because there are really, really big names in there, and you have to be on top notch to be able to get
definitely
out of the group.
Have to be on top notch to get. But then reminding you that there is a 20,000 Ghana Cedi Sports prize on this entire Accra Esports Week festival right here. And in this particular game that we are playing, the NBA2K20, the top winner, that is the first place winner, is going to walk home with 500 Ghana Cedis. Second place is going home with 300 Ghana Cedis, and third place with 200 Ghana Cedis. So in fact, so many games to play and so much to win right here. It is the very beginning of the year, and we are starting in grand style right here at the Accra Esports Week. So if you haven't registered for the remaining games, please do so quickly. There is no time to waste. But then let me bring to you some media partners. We have Joy Online, Joy News. In fact, the entire multimedia house is right here supporting us, and also Esports Africa News and Esports Africa Tournaments. They are solidly behind us, covering this event right from scratch till we are done, and so it's exciting times right here. On that note, let's take a quick break. I'll be back with some more matches of the Slamdunk Championship. It is the Accra Esports Week. We will be right back. All right, now before we go on that break, let me also remind you that we are live inside the Esports Academy here at Hacho. It is a very plush place for you to enjoy some gaming. But then also, if you want to actually learn this gameplay, maybe you are at home, you're wondering what is happening right here. This is competitive gaming. That's what we call esports. If you want to be participating, if you want to actually learn, maybe you're not so much of a pro player, you want to learn how to become a pro, come to the Esports Academy. You can also contact them on their socials. Of course, the Esports Association of Ghana, they are partnering with us also. If you want to actually learn a lot about esports, of course, you can hit them up on their social media handles, and they will give you all that information you need to know. And that is why we are here today with our Accra Esports Week. We are giving our knowledge, we are opening our doors right here for you to come in and ask all the questions you want to ask, find out all that you want to know about esports, and we are here with open arms ready to welcome you. But on that note, let's take a quick break. We'll be back with the Slam Dunk Championship of the Accra Esports Week Festival. Wow, it looks like our break is quite hanging on a bit. But then, Slimo, let's engage ourselves in some conversations right there. Now, looking at how that first match went right there, 30-15, do you think that sets a tone for the results that we'll be seeing in the subsequent matches?
Well, you could say that it could go either way. We could see blowout score lines from the rest of the tournament, but there are really some good players in there. I'm expecting the next match to be really, really tight. We'll be bringing those two players, that game to you very, very shortly. But it could go either way. With 2K23, I've already found out that if you're really good at the game, you are good. If you are bad, you are bad. So we'll see a lot of blowout score lines, and it's 2 minutes per quarter. So you really have to do your work and then do it really, really quickly. As we saw what Terry did.
Exactly.
Taking a big lead in that first quarter and then never slowing down. Chris tried to get back into the game when we saw Jason Tatum really get hot in that game. But Steph Curry, when he gets hot, you just can't do anything about it. That backcourt is just amazing. And there's a big debate going around. The Golden State Warriors dynasty versus the Chicago Bulls dynasty, of course, being led by Michael Jordan. Who is going to win in the best of 7 series? Let me know in the comment section who you think might just pip. Well, the legend Draymond Green thinks his Warriors team might win, and Scottie Pippen also thinks the Bulls might win. Who do you think is going to win that series? It's really difficult. I'll let you know my thoughts when the show keeps going on. So stick and stay with us. You definitely know my thoughts on that matchup, but it promises to be juicy. That is if it could have ever come on. But the 73-9 Warriors, they are just something else, and we won't ever see that matchup. But just to fantasize about it just gives me goosebumps. But we are here inside the Esports Academy, bringing you the NBA2K23 Championship, where we have the Slamdunk Championship ongoing here. We are yet to find our winners, so stick and stay with us. We'll bring you more of the action very, very shortly as and when it goes. And we do have our second action of the day. As this time around, we have a switch up in teams. The Denver Nuggets and the Boston Celtics going head to head. The Denver Nuggets, a real big threat this year, as of course they have their returning players in Michael Porter Jr. and Jamal Murray, who seemingly are taking their time to get back into form. In this game, it is the Denver Nuggets out in front by 5 points to 2. Great defense from the Nuggets. Well, the Mile High boys doing really well to prevent the Celtics, but well, the big man himself, Endless NDT, mind you, endless with, well, the Eastern Conference champions, the Boston Celtics. NDT opting for the Denver Nuggets, who are proven to be a threat. Well, they're first in the West this year, and hopefully when the playoffs starts, they do not face those injuries. Aaron Gordon from the corner three, well, misses. Aaron Gordon wide open, just couldn't make that shot. And our first quarter comes to an end. A really low scoring quarter, as it's 2 minutes per quarter, as I have been saying. But the returning Denver Nuggets, man, they really have some talent on that squad. Of course, they acquired Bruce Brown in that trade from the Brooklyn Nets as well. So they've got really good depth, and there's no shock why DT's rolling with them. Jason Tatum from deep. You'd have expected him to make that, as in he's in red hot form this year. Of course, he's an MVP candidate this year as well. Caldwell Pope. It's Jamal Murray calling for that pick and roll. Is he going to find Aaron Gordon with the slam? Definitely one of the best dunkers in history, but he's never won a slam dunk contest. Aaron Gordon, as that pick and roll with Jamal Murray working to perfection, but we haven't seen the MVP even work out. So, and there he is, he grabs that rebound. Nikola Jokic switches it on to the point guard Jamal Murray, controlling affairs here, looking to pick out some plays. The T trying to structure stuff here, leading by 3 points. There comes, well, the partner move of the MVP, backing him down. Jokic, well, can't finish over the big Rob Williams. He's a big law threat in there. He's also a really good defensive threat. That is what makes the Boston Celtics so great. Down on the floor, they are really good, and in the paint as well. Michael Porter Jr. hoisting one up there for the T, but just couldn't finish. Murray in the corner with the defensive player of the year on him, Marcus Smart. We've got Jokic backing down his man into the open. Michael Porter Jr. still can't make a rebound. Tatum, as the Celtics go the other way. Mind you, endless with the Boston Celtics. Jason Tatum with the slam, big slam. Ferocious finish from one of the leading MVP candidates this year. With how Jason Tatum is playing, I think he might make it to the All-Star game.
Of course, most definitely, it's likely that he will get in there. But then, talking about the MVP candidates, who else is performing really well this season?
This year, there are a host of MVP candidates. In fact, this year in the NBA, I'm really excited. You just can't put one name out there. In fact, Luka Doncic, Stephen Curry, who just went away with an injury and then came back just yesterday for his first game back as the Warriors lost that game to the Phoenix Suns. So we've got Steph Curry in there, Luka Doncic, and of course, the aforementioned Jason Tatum, and not forgetting the reigning MVP himself, Nikola Jokic, Kevin Durant, who just went down with an injury, and a two-time MVP as well.
Giannis Antetokounmpo. I was just waiting for you to mention the name.
In there, Joel Embiid. He's coming up. So this year there are a host of MVP candidates. You just can't put your finger on this one, and I'm sure the pundits, the journalists, really have a lot on their hands on choosing who the MVP for NBA 2023 is going to be.
All right. Thank you, Slimo. And in fact, it's such an exciting time right here. We are having that Slamdunk Championship. But then, apologies for the break-in transmission. A few technical hitches right there. But then, let's go for a quick break. And after this break, we'll be back to sort it all out. And it's the Accra Esports Week, the Slamdunk Championship happening on day 3 right here. Stay tuned. All right, we're still waiting for that break to come through, but then we are, of course, talking about these MVP candidates. But then also, let's talk about the high-performing teams this season. On your ranking, who do you believe is the top 5 teams in this current season ongoing?
Well, in every season, we've definitely got contenders and pretenders. Personally, in the West, I feel like the contenders this year, of course, the Denver Nuggets, who we just saw in action with the T, they are first in the West, so you have to go for the Denver Nuggets. And the New Orleans Pelicans, they've really got some squad depth in there.
Really?
Zion Williamson returning is a big boost. Even we haven't seen Brandon Ingram so much this year, and CJ McCollum running the point for them is just mind-blowing. That squad depth on the New Orleans Pelicans with Coach Willie Green really doing well in there. And then in the West, I have to also be biased and mention my favorite team, the LA Clippers, who've got a really good team, but it seems like injuries are really hampering them this year. Kawhi Leonard is back, for your information. Paul George just went out in a couple of games, so the West is really stacked, and you can't just forget the defending champs themselves, the Golden State Warriors, and the young Memphis Grizzlies as well. In the East, well, leading the East are the team we are seeing in action as well, the Boston Celtics, as their leading MVP candidate, Jason Tatum, is in some red-hot form. And in his second in command, Jaylen Brown definitely has to make the All-Star front court as well. He's been brilliant this year, and hopefully he makes that All-Star starting team. And in second place, we've got the Milwaukee Bucks. Giannis leading them. They haven't got their full sets back. They're still playing really, really well. Giannis, Middleton, and then Drew, that pair is just mind-blowing. That trio, it's really, really good. I've got to put in the Brooklyn Nets, who weren't really touted this year, as last year they really struggled. The Boston Celtics, their stifling defense prevented Kevin Durant from doing his thing. Kyrie Irving has really come back stronger, and we're hoping to see if Ben Simmons might be able to make some free throws. Not to throw any dig at the man himself, Ben Simmons, but hopefully the Brooklyn Nets can come to the fray. And then I'm going to throw in the last 2 teams in there, Joel Embiid and the Philadelphia 76ers. Man,
I was just waiting for that team, of course.
Tyrese Maxey has come into the fore, and with James Harden running the point, anything can happen. We haven't seen him doing it too much in the playoffs, but when you've got last year's scoring title leader Joel Embiid in your team, anything can happen. And for my final contender in the East, the East is so stacked, man. The Cavs are really playing well this year. The Heat are playing well this year. Well, not so the Bulls, so I'm definitely going to put in the Cavaliers. The Cavaliers are really a young team. Arden Donovan Mitchell just cemented everything, and their defense is really stifling as well. So those are the teams that I feel like have the best chance to win.
All right, and so we are taking that break now. We'll be back with the exciting games happening. But then before that break, I haven't heard you mention LeBron. What's happening? Has he fallen off so quick?
Well, I think for LeBron James, you definitely have to acknowledge that he's one of the greatest players of all time, my all-time favorite player. In his 20th year in the NBA, mind-blowing that someone can play in the NBA for 20 years and still be this good. He's averaging about 28 points per game, about 8 rebounds, and about 7 assists. But the Los Angeles Lakers aren't doing too well. And, well, the man in MVP form, Anthony Davis, just went down with an injury, so it's really hectic for LeBron James and the Lakers to get into that playoff conversation, and that is why we are not hearing too much about the Lakers. But we go into that next game where we are seeing the Denver Nuggets again against the Boston Celtics. So it's two of the top teams, the first in the West versus the first in the East. Jokic trying to get that speed move. He's got, brilliant block. Rob Williams the third gets that block to go. Jason Tatum trying to take it to the rack, but that stifling defense from the Nuggets proving to be really difficult for the Celtics to be able to break down. Jamal Murray gets it into Aaron Gordon, the sharpshooter. Caldwell Pope is also on the floor. Murray looking to control things into the MVP. Jokic gets the floater to go, but the rebound by Jason Tatum. Brown into Rob Williams with a slam. Big slam, Rob Williams. He was with an injury this year, but coming back, he's given a big boost to the Celtics, and hopefully he's able to stay healthy when the playoffs come around. Murray into Jokic. Freaking MVP make this one. Still can't go down for the Nuggets, who have not been able to get some shots to go down for them. Brown from deep as the quarter comes to an end. Exciting quarter, but it's a low-scoring quarter. What do you think these teams can change to be able to get more shots to go?
Obviously, it is a low-scoring quarter. Mind you, the first game, in fact, this game actually had to be restarted for some technical reasons. And in the previous one, when they started, it was also a low-scoring quarter, but then it was a 5-4 after the first quarter. And right now, it looks like DT with the Denver Nuggets is trying to pull clear with the second chance that he's had right now. He wants to probably correct a few mistakes that he probably made in that first game, which was actually unfortunately stopped. It looks like he wants to continue with that dominance in this second game here.
Well, we'll see if DT is able to do that with the Denver number. But Jason Tatum missing the free throw. Well, that's new. Endless can't seem to get his free throws to go down. Jason Tatum
free throws are just like, gifts on a silver platter.
But for Jason Tatum, you should expect to at least make 1 out of 2. Murray from deep, heavily contested shot, and the Celtics can restart. The defense from both of these teams has been really great. Jamal Murray trying from 3 there, just can't finish. Murray coming back from that season-ending injury last season is definitely going to give a boost to the Denver Nuggets, and the team looking to utilize that. Tatum from deep, still can't find it. Still can't find it. The man in hot form for the Boston Celtics. We've got Jamal Porter. Michael Porter under the rim just got that fake. Didn't get it to go. You can see the Boston Celtics going for that man-to-man defense. Porter into Murray. Gets it back well. A forced shot is definitely not going to get that one to fall. And the rebound for Rob Williams to get Jason Tatum off. Tatum, endless. Still looking to break down his defender. Gets that screen from Rob Williams. Gets in the pick and roll to fall. A big dunk from the big man himself. Rob Williams, the returning Rob Williams this year. Jokic. Can DT reply? Backing down his defender, Jokic. Well, tried that Euro, but decided to lay it off into Michael Porter. Jokic drives under the basket, but kicks it out to Caldwell Pope. Shot clock running out. Can Aaron get this one to go? Well, a first shot by Jokic with an all-important offensive rebound. Big finish from the MVP himself, Nikola Jokic, the Serbian, doing it all for the Denver Nuggets and the team. Endless. Now on the attack, Brown. The fake moves. Rob Williams is definitely not going to shoot that three for Endless. It was a bait. What a slam! Definitely the dunk of the tournament so far. He hit him on the head there. Jaylen Brown with the slam. Michael Porter from deep. We've got it. The first 3-pointer of the game falls, and it's Michael Porter Jr. almost 7 feet, and he's making threes. That is just mind-blowing. It's so difficult to contest his threes because he's that tall. So when he shoots, it's high arcing and you can't get your hands on them. What do you think of Michael Porter's influence on the game.
Obviously, we can't underrate the height factor in NBA. Of course, the height always plays a big role, particularly in overpowering, the opponents and also getting in those 3-pointers. Like you said, it really, really does well for, the very high rising players. But then obviously, there've been some quite short players who've been always amazing. Talk of James Harden.
Of course, James Harden, Kyrie Irving, the point guards, of course, the legendary AI as well. That is it for the point guards. They aren't really tall, but in real life they're really tall. So,
of course, in real life they would overtower all of us. But then, come on, NBA. Do we have any Ghanaian NBA players currently in this season?
Well, not this season, but we've had some before. I think the famous Popman Sabunsu
Always will remember
comes
him.
to mind. And getting into the game, Endless still looking for a way to get back into the game. He's only down by 2, so that's the good part. Malcolm Brogdon checking in for the defensive player of the year, Marcus Smart. Brogdon under the rim looking for the layup to go, but the defense from DeAndre Jordan, who's not really been doing well this year, but under the basket, he's always a threat on the defensive end. Bose Highland back to DeAndre Jordan. Jordan is definitely not going to shoot a jumper, and his handles are not the best as the team loses the ball. And here comes Endless. Can he finish on the break? Jaylen Brown gets it to go. The hot Celtics, when they are running, they are difficult to stop, and Endless utilizing every bit of that factor. Bones Highland for the team kicks it out to Green. Bruce Brown. Well, a foul from Jaylen Brown, a reaching foul from Jaylen Brown. So we've got side out for the T. The T really struggling to get his plays out as Endless really, really good on the fast break. Jokic backing down his man. Jokic with a 10. What a move. The big man himself flexing his muscles there. The T showing us that roulette 360 and getting the dunk to go. Brogdon on the other end for the Celtics. Endless. Cornet, brilliant shooter, and he's also really good under the rim. As we are seeing, he's got the floater to go as well. The Boston Celtics have really impressed, and Endless really doing well in this game. The T losing the ball is definitely going to be a backcourt violation, out of bounds, and Endless still has the ball. We are in the third quarter, and we've got only 20 seconds. Are you really surprised by how, should I say, disappointing the T has been today?
I'm rather impressed by how Endless has actually coming into this game very strong, because it looked like from the beginning DT was going to go on with his dominance, but then DT is really suffering from his defense. His defense isn't really helping him today, and that has made Endless coming with that advantage. He's capitalized upon that, and he's just running through the defense like that. But then now it is a very close match. It is very, very close. I'm really waiting to the very end to actually see who the winner was. From the start, I thought DT would have easily been a winner, but then kudos to Endless for coming in strong.
Well, kudos to Endless for coming in strong, but we end the third quarter with the T still leading by just a 2-point margin. So it's a one-possession game at this time, and Endless has to set his plays really well. I think in the half court he's really struggling. He's always looking for the fast break to be able to get some points to fall for him, and that is why the T has been able to lead. And here comes Endless, gets it into Malcolm Brogdon, the open man. He didn't opt for that shot. Jason Tatum gets the pin down from Al Horford, returning to Al Horford, but just couldn't finish under the basket. The Boston Celtics really poor on their efficiency today. Murray, the T, for the quick isolation. Jokic gets down to go and gets it down to go. And one from the MVP, and is going back to the line for a free throw. The T really, really executing the plays this well. And in NBA2K, in fact, in NBA in real life, you always wait for the last quarter to bring out your best, and it seems like the T has done exactly that. Jaylen Brown. Big block from the man under the rim. It's quite surprising how big Rob Williams is, and being blocked by, well, a player of the size of Caldwell Pope. Really surprising, because Rob Green being a center and then Caldwell Pope being a forward, is really difficult to see him get that block on Rob Williams. But it's 2K23 and anything can happen. Jamal Murray definitely going to drain those two free throws, and the T gradually pulling away as the Denver Nuggets have now entered into the bonus. So any foul on the T now is definitely going to the line. Just Tatum from deep, still can't get it to fall, and that has been the problem for the Boston Celtics as they just can't get their shots to fall. You'd expect Jason Tatum to be leading the line for endless, but he's been missing all game. But great defensive stop from Jason Tatum and gets it into Marcus Smart, who gets that floater to fall. Endless still looking for a way to get back into this game, but we've got only 40 seconds on the game clock to be able to go. Can't do a pull for DT, just can't finish. Rebound Horford. Boston Celtics really need to get some points on the board and get it quick. Well, Jaylen Brown hoisting one up, but it seems like it is going to be DT who is going to run out with the ball, and they are fouled, the Denver Nuggets, as they will be going back to the line. And it's really difficult for Endless now to be able to get back into the game, as we've only got 20 seconds. And with the T being in the bonus, he's always just going to foul bait and then just go back to the line. As we are seeing a really good free throw shooter in Caldwell Pope at the line. He's definitely going to be draining at least 1 out of 2 free throws. He makes both free throws, and now the lead goes up to 7. Really, really difficult now for Endless to get back into the game. Tatum for 3. Finally, we have, well, the first option on the Celtics really coming to the party, Jason Tatum, but it might be a little bit too late as the Nuggets and the T are running away with this one. Murray just running down the clock a bit. Jamal Murray under the rim. Well, gets it out to Michael Porter Jr., and that is it. We have our winner. DT wins that second game on the live stream, but that just tells you the confidence with which DT is playing. He didn't fumble when Endless go back into the game. He took his time, and then as I've already said, in the last few minutes, that's where the big players show their big plays.
I'm pretty sure he heard that that statement you made, and so he, of course, obviously brought his best at the very latter of the game. But then, kudos to Endless. He didn't really do bad for himself.
Really
yes,
fight.
it was really. Now, mind you, DT is, if not the best, one of the best, top 5 gamers.
Definitely top 2.
Top 2, obviously.
Top 2.
Obviously, DT is in there, and so kudos to DT for winning his first match of the day here at the Accra Esports Week Slamdunk Championship. Yes, it is the day 3 of the Accra Esports Week, and we are having exciting fun right here with that NBA2K23 tournament that is happening. Mind you, there is a 500 Ghana cedis check up for grabs for the winner. Second place is walking home with 300 cedis, and third place with 200 cedis. So a lot of excitement happening here today. We are going to go for a break now, and after this break, we are bringing to you more of the Accra Esports Week Day 3. Stay tuned. We will be right back.
Game on. Game on.
Okay, so we're back here in the studios of the Esports Academy where we're having the Accra Esports Week Day 3, the NBA 2K23 Slamdunk Championship. It's exciting. We've already witnessed 2 games go down the drain, and we already have another match ready for us to go through, and I believe that is between Chris and Endless. In the first match, Chris went down against Terry, and Endless also went down against DT. So these are 2 wounded, I don't want to call them lions. They don't look like lions for me so far. But then, what do you think about this matchup that is coming on?
Well, pretty impressive matchup. Once you lose your first game, you definitely want to win your second game. And I feel like the edge is towards Endless because he gave the team more of a fight than Chris gave to Terry. So maybe, just maybe, that is how the dynamic.
Of course, in that match, we saw in that first match, we saw Chris losing by 15 points to 30 as against Terry. And so, well, wounded cubs, maybe they are cubs, they're not lions yet. So let's see how these 2 will fare against each other right here. And it looks like already Endless with the Boston Celtics is in an 8-0 lead. I mean, wow. Look at that.
All in game 2, we have Endless sticking with the Boston Celtics and Chris switching things up, going for the informed Brooklyn Nets, who were on almost a 12-game winning streak till it was cut by the Chicago Bulls last week. So you can see the reasoning with which Chris has opted for the Brooklyn Nets, as they've got a lot of offensive firepower. Of course, the deadly Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant, they're all in there.
Of course, he has got the idea to actually switch up, but then unfortunately he isn't putting the ideas on the court. And look at that in our first quarter. Right, I mean, after first quarter, 0 points as against 8. Well, it looks like we might have a very one-sided match here today between Chris and Endless. And Endless looks to have picked a few necessary lessons from that game between him and on DT, and he's putting all on Chris. That's so unfair. Endless.
But actually, that was what I was looking for from Chris, going into that post, switching up your playbook a bit. And of course, Ben Simmons from 3, that is really weird. Ben Simmons has made less than 5 3-pointers his whole career, so it's really shocking that he has been trusted by Chris to be able to knock down 1 from 3. Jason Tatum this time around gets the layup to go. Maybe, just maybe, this game gets Endless going. Durant down the baseline, well, loses the ball. Chris not really executing his plays well, but Endless gives the ball away cheaply. Durant from mid-range, what a shot. With about 2 players on him being double-teamed, Kevin Durant gets that shot to fall. Tatum fakes the shot. Jaylen Brown under the rim and gets that layup to fall, with the Celtics leading by 10 points. Durant coming the other way for the Nets. Irving, the skillful Irving trying to get the floater, but rebound Williams. Tatum on the other end. Endless from 3, quick and stop, but it seems like Endless might just be rushing into things. If he finds that man open, it seems like he's definitely going to take that 3. So we've already got the 2 shapes of, well, the play styles already out in here. Endless looking for it, making 3s, and it seems like the Brooklyn Nets are looking to run with the ball. But there comes Jaylen Brown. Just as I said, Endless was looking for 3s. Jaylen Brown goes down the middle. The defense of Chris has really been poor. I think he should definitely switch from man-to-man to a zone defense. And Ben Simmons from 3 once again. I don't know what Chris has seen in Simmons, but in real life, Ben Simmons is not trusted to make 3s. Jaylen Brown is fouled by Kevin Durant, who's got his first foul of the game as Jaylen Brown goes to the line. Endless draining that first free throw of the game. But to talk about the Brooklyn Nets lineup, we've got Nick Claxton at the center position, and the small forward, of course, the legendary KD, and the big block from the blocking man himself, Rob Williams III, slamming that away from Kyrie Irving, as the Brooklyn Nets still can't get some shots to fall. KD from mid-range, well, he makes that shot so easily. In real life, you'd expect him to make that one here as well, but Chris still struggling from the offensive point of view. Jaylen Brown, once again, he has been the star of the show for Endless, the number 2 option on the Boston Celtics, showing you why they are the Eastern Conference champions.
And that was a proper slam dunk right there. I mean, how he dived in to get that ball into the basket was just awesome. Getting that ball into the ring from that position, it looks as if he was almost flying, and
definitely
that was very beautiful to see. So we already are here at the end of the second quarter, bringing us, the first half of the game done, and it looks like 17 points to 4. Wow, that's quite a gap.
Really, really huge deficit. And in 2K, if once you go into that deep hole, it's really hard to come out of that hole. And for the Brooklyn Nets, they really need KD and Kyrie Irving firing. Chris really needs to update his playbook.
Exactly.
I feel like
exactly.
all he's looking for is to run with the ball. You could get it in the half court set, try to get some isolation plays for the two big men, Kyrie and KD, and they might just get you back into the game. And hopefully it works out for Chris. But with the gap being so huge, I don't think Endless might fumble this one.
No, Endless doesn't have to fumble this because already he's lost that first match, and so
he
this
needs
match
his 3
he
points.
really means business in here. But then, of course, that's just a word of advice to Chris if he's out there hearing us. He has the skill set. He has the players to do the job. He just needs to take his time, map out a different game strategy, and then get those points coming in. But then we're underway in the third quarter.
Brown. For the Celtics still starting with that same lineup, Endless trusting his team to get the business done. Simmons, KD, pull-up jumper, no good. No good from, well, the former MVP, but Jaylen Brown once more has been doing this all game. In this game, he's already got 11 points and 3 points from mid-range as well. Wow. Jaylen Brown has put on a show today. As Endless really running away with this one. The lead has really become huge. Jaylen Brown from deep can't get it to fall, but the rebound from Rob Williams, really, really impressive from the Celtics. As Endless really running away with this one. Irving looking to start to stop. Irving, Chris, KD going down the basket. Simmons from 3 once again, definitely going to miss that as he's heavily contested. Tatum on the other end for Endless. Tatum going down the rack into Brown. Horford from 3 wide open, still can't get it to fall. Horford has not really got his shots to go down here today for Endless, but so far so good. The Celtics are leading. Kyrie from 3 still can't get it to fall. The Brooklyn Nets really struggling from deep. As Chris seemingly a disappointed campaign so far. Jaylen Brown from deep as well. Rebound Simmons. Can Chris get something to fall, but he's fouled by Endless going into this one. Kyrie.
Oh, Chris is that bad with the free throws. It's amazing how he just is able to lose from that position. But then let me quickly visit our stream on YouTube. Remember, we are streaming live on the Accra Esports Week channel on YouTube and on Facebook. But then on YouTube, we have quite a host of audience right here. And Albert Wilson is right there. I think earlier one was giving some props to DT and was amazed how come DT is missing some open shots. But then Kweku Ankobia is also on there on the stream, and he says, oh, relax, there's action going to come on. And he also says here that skill over height, or heights count, but then the skill also is very important.
I think he was referring to that statement he made when he said the NBA height
exactly,
is really important.
exactly.
Skill is also important as well.
Well, Albert Wilson again says that if he was here, he was really going to give them, and he was really going to do this for them simply. Wow, Albert. So why aren't you here? Why aren't you here, Albert? Anyway, Mr. Max Moss himself is on the stream as well, and he's quite excited with how things are going. He says, nice one right there. But then let's get back into this game. Looks one-sided, but then let's see how it is going to end with a few seconds on the clock.
In the last quarter, we've seen a change in the roster. As Seth Curry comes in for the Nets. Chris looking to straight things up, maybe just cut into the deficit a bit. As Seth Curry goes down the rack, gets 2 points to fall for Chris with a big deficit for him to overcome. Jaylen Brown once more gets the shot to go, and one for Jaylen Brown as the Celtics open things up, and Endless really ruthless in this game. Chris nowhere to be found. Curry operating things for the Brooklyn Nets. He's got Kyrie wide open with a shot, can't get it to fall. Rebound Smart. Tatum. Final few seconds for the Celtics to close this one out. I think we can definitely call this a blowout. Endless has been really too good for Chris, and another shot for Jaylen Brown to fall. Definitely the MVP of the game. He alone has outscored the Brooklyn Nets. He's got 16 points, and Chris and the whole Brooklyn Nets have just got 8 points. That tells you the kind of form that Jaylen Brown is in, and I'm definitely looking for it that he makes the All-Star game. Brown once more gets the layup to go. He's in a hot streak right now. One-handed layup, and he gets it to fall. Claxton handling the ball for the Brooklyn Nets really weird, but Chris definitely, well, he knew what he was doing on that play, but it didn't work out for him.
It was a bait to get in a foul.
Just maybe, but the deficit is too huge to be able to overcome, and the Boston Celtics are definitely going to run away with this one. And it seems like the Brooklyn Nets have thrown in the towel as the Boston Celtics have brought on their reserves to close this one out. Endless definitely getting all 3 points in this one. So mind you, the T has got a win on board, Terry has got a win on board, and Endless is also going to get a win on the board as Chris still looking for a win. It seems to be a difficult moment for him, and there is it. The game comes to an end. The Brooklyn Nets 8 points, the Boston Celtics with 31. Endless being ruthless in this one.
Endless being ruthless in this one, and of course it's exciting to see how one can be so wicked and actually give an opponent a 31-8 points scoreline. That is really wicked from Endless. But then that is what Endless is known for. I also know him in the FIFA circles.
As well, so he's multi-talented.
Multi-talented right there. But then I'm wondering how did Chris get into this tournament with this woeful gameplay he's putting up. Who actually registered him?
Well, with esports, I've learned that if you're training at home, you probably feel like you're on top of the world. So maybe that was what the feeling he was getting. But when you come here, entry will say, Wishia
Nimita. Of course, if you're at home and you're watching this and you think you are a champion, come on, you need to be following us. You need to be coming on board. You need to be coming out. Step out. Let us see if you really are a champion or you're only a champion in your room. And it looks like that is what Chris is learning here today. He probably thought he was a champion coming from wherever he is, but then he's come here and he's met his meters. On that note, let's take a quick break. And after this break, we are still on with Accra Esports Week. The Slamdunk Championship is on, and it's really fiercely contested right here. We'll be back after this break. All right, it looks like our break will have to take on a bit of a minute, but then
there's a certain strength that comes from your eyes, and a deep burning fire and desire.
Forged in the glorious realm.
Mirage, quiet. Path, are we clear?
This is my favorite part. Exciting. Game over. Thanks for playing.
okay, so we're back at this Accra Esports weekend. Then, of course, we are having the excitement right here in day 3, which we are witnessing the Slamdunk Championship happening. Day 3, of course, a promise to be exciting, and it has really lived up to the bill. I didn't ever imagine I was going to see a 31-8 points match scoreline here. But then, what do you think? Did you expect this today, coming into this tournament?
I didn't expect the margins of skill level. I didn't know people were that good and people were, should I say, that bad. So, but that is in fact 2K Esports for you as well.
All right, so we are getting straight into the next game, and the feed is going to be fed to you very soon. And that game is happening between DT, of course, the very top DT, and one player you would be surprised to see in here. He calls himself the Prince of PES, the Prince of FIFA, and it looks like right now he wants to venture into NBA, and Do you think he's going to be a prince of NBA or he's going to be a slave of NBA?
Prince of 2K.
No.
We
This is why he's going to be a slave. You know, in Chi, they say that baby this year to make baby aqua. So probably in eFootball or in PES, he is a prince. But today in NBA, well, we can only wait and see what he will turn out into. And so now that game is on. What are you expecting?
Well, I'm expecting the T to come out firing. He's already taking a 7-point lead in this one.
Okay.
Not surprising, really, but it's interesting that DT has switched up teams. He started with the Denver Nuggets, and this time around, he's
The
going
Milwaukee.
with the Milwaukee Bucks and Giannis Antetokounmpo as well. Prince Jefferson also opting for the Boston Celtics. He's got his first points to go the Boston Celtics. Giannis controlling affairs for the Celtics. Brook Lopez can get it to fall, but he's fouled. Rob Williams, so Brook Lopez going to the line for the first free throws of the game for the T. But to run you through those lineup, the reason why the Milwaukee Bucks are such a threat is because of their size. Brook Lopez playing at the center position, and Giannis, well, partnering him at the power forward position as well. It just makes things so difficult when you're trying to go for a layup or under the basket. It's really difficult to break them down. And they have one of the best defensive players when you've got a perimeter shooting, and Drew Holiday as well. So the Milwaukee Bucks are really, really strong this year, and I'm expecting them to go a long way in the postseason as well. It's no shocker that the T has also opted for them, as we've seen the Boston Celtics in various matches as well, and Prince Jefferson opting for them.
I mean, I'm not surprised with DT opting for the Milwaukee Bucks because they are equally a very amazing side, and it looks like with this match he didn't really want to stress, and so decided to choose. Probably this might be his second favorite team because we've seen him go with the Denver Nuggets, and now that is the Milwaukee Bucks, and look at how he is dominating affairs right here. So already Prince might probably be turning into a slave very soon, looking at how things are going even in this second quarter right here.
Well, with the way the T selects his teams, it seems like he's looking for his best player to be a big man. Because with the Denver Nuggets, of course, their MVP is Nikola Jokic, and he's indeed a big man. And it seems like he's gone for the Milwaukee Bucks as well, and the big man being Giannis Antetokounmpo. So maybe that is how he's structured. But we've got to look at least 3 games to be able to know the pattern for which DT might just go into. But the Boston Celtics are now in the bonus. Prince Jefferson, every time he's going to be fouled now, will definitely go to the line. Drew Holiday from 3, DT missing, and rebound Horford.
I could actually hear the excitement from Prince actually being able to get that free throw in the nets, and it looks like he's even happy about the scoreline he's seen so far. Probably he didn't imagine to come up against DT.
Definitely knocks it down.
Wow.
The Bucks are also really good from deep. They've got a wide range of players who can make these, and so definitely their spacing is really good. It allows Giannis to thrive and definitely go under the rim and then do his stuff. Giannis, we've already seen him adding some spectacular skill to his game. He's definitely now really good in the post, and his mid-range is also really up there as well. Smart, controlling affairs for the Celtics. Jefferson, well, calling for the timeout, but half time now. Are you surprised by the scoreline?
Not at all. As I was earlier saying, I mean, Prince coming into NBA is quite a surprising scene because he is popularly known for playing the eFootball, the FIFA games, but then seeing Prince on the NBA2K today was quite a surprise. I was just wanting to relax and probably see if he had a surprise up his sleeves, but it looks like he's got nothing.
It feels like a punishment as you're coming into the game and your second match is against the best player in the
That
game.
is quite an amazing experience here. I mean, you probably would want to face the less stronger ones
At
to
least
build
to
some
warm
experience
up a bit.
till you come up against the best. But then he's just met the best at the very early stages of this tournament, and that can only probably either strengthen him or discourage him at all in this particular tournament. But then let's see how this third quarter goes.
Well, we are into that third quarter, and Milwaukee still running with the same lineup as Bobby Portis at that forward position with Giannis at the 4 as well. At the 5, we've got Brook Lopez, the big man, under the rim to be doing all the defensive work. And of course, he's also a really good 3-point shooter. So the spacing is really there for the Milwaukee Bucks. For the Celtics, you are seeing the same lineup that starts every single time. Rob Williams at the 5. We've got Jaylen Brown in there. Of course, the hot Jason Tatum as well. Here he is with the ball, Jason Tatum into the defensive player of the year. Marcus Smart leaving it to Jalen Brown, but a heavily contested three can't get it to go, and the Bucks get the rebound. Middleton can go to the rim with a dribble drive, can't get it to fall because that defense from Jason Tatum really trifling. That is what has been the difference for Jason Tatum this year. The leap into the superstar category. It just tells you how good he has been this year. Definitely a two-way player for me. He's really good defensively this year, and that is why he is in the MVP conversation. Jason Tatum really doing his stuff for the Boston Celtics, but he really needs to come alive for Prince Jefferson in this one because he's really struggling from deep as well. Middleton from the free throw line definitely goes 2 out of 2 for the T. The gap is now widening. It is now widening. It is really. Can't do anything to stop it.
It is really widening. I thought the 31 points to 8 points between Chris and Terry was. Sorry, between Chris and Endless was going to be the biggest, but then it looks like I just have to stay poised and watch what this match is going to turn into here. This might be a bloodbath for Prince, looking at the way things are steadily progressing. It's only the third quarter, and you earlier mentioned that actually these players will want to reserve the best in the last quarter. So, wow, what?
The thing is, if it becomes a blowout game, we'll see the team bringing his reserves for the Milwaukee Bucks.
Okay.
The Milwaukee Bucks to close
in the
out.
last,
So maybe the scoreline might just reduce and not live up to expectation. That
all right. Already it looks like already probably the T has slowed things a bit down for Prince. He's eased on his gas. But then even with that, right now it is 18 points to 3 in that third quarter. Right, the Prince do better.
So Prince has only got about 2 shots to fall from him. One from the field and one from the free throw line. As well, really disappointing. Our campaign so far for Prince Jefferson, as he lost his first game with also a huge margin, and then coming up against the T, what else would you have expected?
No, but I think Prince has really done well though. I was expecting no points at all for him, but I mean,
in NBA2K, you definitely will get some points.
You sure?
Definitely.
Let's wait for Prince's next match. It was surprising he wouldn't get one. Of course, you have to get the ball into the net to be able to get points. So there's a situation whereby it's really become difficult for Prince to direct the ball into the net. And imagine he comes up against a defensively strong player. That will be a hell of a time for Prince.
There definitely will be a big problem for Prince. And just as I said, we've seen the Milwaukee Bucks now bring on their reserves to close this one out. Serge Ibaka checking in for Giannis Antetokounmpo, as we are seeing Pat Connaughton also checking in, George Hill coming in for the Milwaukee Bucks. So you can see all the starters, Holiday, Middleton, are all out of the game, and it seems like the Celtics have also thrown in the towel as well. The team looking to close this one out, the lead being 21-5. Prince Jefferson still really struggling in this one. But for the Milwaukee Bucks and the Boston Celtics, their history goes a really long way. It just sums up the way this season is going to close out, because last year on the Celtics run to the Eastern Conference Finals, they faced the Milwaukee Bucks, and with the wounded Milwaukee Bucks didn't have Middleton, and the Boston Celtics won that series. So this year I'm sure there will be some kind of revenge maybe just going on for the Milwaukee Bucks, and Middleton will definitely be looking forward to coming back for the Milwaukee Bucks as well. But the Celtics have even been better this year. I think their trades have been top-notch. Malcolm Brogdon coming in the backcourt to support Jaylen Brown from the bench is really important. And Bogdanovic also had to come and add some three-point shooting, but he's gone down with an injury. So all around, the Boston Celtics are really the team to beat in the West. But hey, Giannis might have something to say about that, as the team has now widened the gap, and it's definitely going to be another win on the board. So the T, 2 out of 2 wins. Do you think he can continue with this?
Yes, definitely. He is on a winning streak right here, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him get into that final seat right there. But then, of course, kudos to Prince as well. He's actually gotten some more points. From 3 to 9 points for him. It's not so bad, I think. But indeed, the match I'm looking out for.
Which game?
That match between Prince and Chris. Wow.
So we'll definitely have one of them get their first win.
Most definitely. We might definitely see one of them get their first win in there. And that is a match which in our language, we'll call it the Eshwe for Agro. Yes. The match of the losers. I think I should just slow down on that troll, because Prince might not be happy with that. But then it looks like we are getting very close to the end here. Slamo.
Well, in the final few seconds, definitely has been a wrap for the Milwaukee Bucks and the T getting his second win to fall. Al Horford for 3 with the last shot of the games. Definitely will be going to the line for 3 free throws. But it has been impressive from the T so far. Really was struggled a bit against Endless when he went to the Denver Nuggets, but this time around switching to the Milwaukee Bucks, it seems like things have sailed smoothly. Or maybe it's his competition that is not there. Maybe Prince Jefferson was an easy rollover for him. But hey, a win is a win, and you definitely take all the points on board. Mind you, it is the Slamdunk Championship ongoing here in the Accra Esports Week here at the Esports Academy. We're bringing you back-to-back NBA2K23 action. We're looking for who is going to be the Slamdunk champion. Do you have your early prediction?
I wish I did, but then it looks like there are 2 players who are in quite good form. I would wait and see them play before I can probably bring that judgment. But then to mention them, I think Terry is doing quite well. DT is also doing amazing. So I'm just waiting to see how both of them will fare when they come up against each other. And so without wasting much time, we are just getting on into the next game of the day. And it looks like we still have the is it Milwaukee Bucks coming up again?
The Milwaukee Bucks, just maybe the next player selects the Milwaukee Bucks. Well, with the Milwaukee Bucks, they're always a good choice. I've already said this. They're really tall, and it really helps you with your defense as well. But there are whole lot of teams that you can choose from 2K23 that are pretty good as well. So I haven't seen the Clippers and I haven't seen LeBron James and the Lakers. I haven't seen Joel Embiid and the Sixers. I haven't seen DeMar DeRozan and the Bulls. So there are a host of teams for you to exploit. But when you've trained with one team, you definitely don't want to switch it up when it comes to the D-Day.
Well, obviously you don't want to switch it up. But then I love players who actually choose a variety of teams and are able to play with them. There's that it might just be a few players who can be able to do that. For the likes of DT, he actually went with the Denver Nuggets and now with Milwaukee Bucks, and he's been excellent with them all. I want to see him go on, bring on some variety. Yeah, I want to see a variety of colors, particularly with the
maybe
the team
way
kits.
He started with the West and now he went to the East, because the Nuggets are from the West and then the Bucks are from the East. Maybe he'll come back to the West again.
Sure. Probably he might want to play with the Bulls. The Chicago Bulls
are actually from the East.
From the East, okay.
The Lakers are from the West.
All right, sure. So, DT, if you're hearing me, please, this one is a special request. Bring on some variety. But then, of course, talking about variety, we are here at the Accra Esports Week, where we are bringing to you a variety of gameplays, a variety of tournaments, ranging from FIFA to NBA 2K23 that you are seeing here today. There's also eFootball around the corner. There is the Velocity Championship. That is the Grand Turismo tournament coming up very soon. Sim racing, yeah. I'll be in there. I'll show you a few skills that I've got under my sleeve. Yes, also there is the Frozen tournament coming up for the ladies, eFootball for the ladies. Also, there is the Teen Championship where we'll be seeing them play Fortnite and Apex Legends. Of course, the Call of Duty Mobile is also going to be happening very soon. Already we have played the Clash Royale and we have a winner in that. We'll be announcing him in due time. But then, of course, the Accra Esports Week is all excitement. Mind you, we have some industry players, from inside the country and outside, who'll be sharing some expertise and some wisdom and knowledge from esports with us along within this program, within this festival of esports that we are celebrating. It is Accra's biggest ever experience when it comes to esports, and it is happening here at the Accra Esports Academy. We are actually going to go for a break. After this break, we'll probably bring some players to talk with us. We'll get to know what they are going through in the gaming room. So stick and stay. We'll be right back.
Letty Arts is a video game development company that is using storytelling to change the African narrative by creating a series of comics and video games based on historical heroes, African heroes, brought into the 21st century reality. The gaming industry is the biggest in the West, and the sort of revenues that we see, Africa doesn't contribute to that. And that was the basis of our frustration, my frustration actually, to solve that, to make Africa part of the global pie. Africa has so many stories that are undocumented. So there's a need for Africa to preserve its stories in an exciting form. So that's the niche that we are serving. Our villains represent issues. So we have greedy presidents, corrupt religious leaders. We use these characters to tell the stories. My greatest motivation is retelling our stories in modern, engaging, and interactive forms, because we kill our African stories. It's a niche market, it's an untapped market, and Africa could become the biggest continent, producing 3 times those revenues.
Okay, guys, welcome back to the Accra Esports Weekday 3, where we're having the Slamdunk Championship, of course, NBA2K23 being played right here. It's been exciting so far. I don't know about you, Slimo. I'm having fun.
Yeah, it has been really good to watch, and I'm hoping that it continues. And the next match I'm hearing coming up is a really, really big one. Okay. I can't wait to tell you who the both of the players are.
Oh, I can't tell you. I can't wait. So I'll tell you. So we have Nitrix coming up against DT, and it's quite an exciting pairing right here, because those two are, top 5.
Definitely.
Yeah, top 5 of, NBA players in the country. I was expecting to see LeBron, our own LeBron, the Ghanaian LeBron play.
Well, but it seems like he's missing from action.
He's missing in action today. But then, of course, let's get straight into that match now between Nitrix and DT. I have information that DT is switching up to, I think he heard my call, so he's playing with the Chicago Bulls, and Nitrix has opted for the Memphis Grizzlies. So what do you have to say about this pairing, these two teams?
Well, it's an East versus West battle. The Bulls from the East and the Grizzlies from the West as well. With the Bulls, you'd expect them to have good shooting on the floor. I think the only person who doesn't really space the floor is DeMar DeRozan. He's not really good from 3, but hey, if he gets open, he can definitely maybe make 1 or 2 of the threes. But here comes the explosive Ja Morant. Just can't finish because the Bulls stifling defense in that paint is really, really good. The team with the V. What a slam to kick things off. First points of the game. A big game we have on our hands. The T in the Chicago Bulls who end Nitrix opting for Ja Morant. The Grizzlies and Morant replies quickly. One leap from Morant's game this year is he has worked on his shots from deep, and just as we've seen, Nitrix utilizing that to perfection. Derrick Jones Jr. as well slamming it down for the T. So really quick trading of buckets here in the first few minutes as the T and Nitrix going head to head to find out who gets all the points on the board. Morant controlling things for the Grizzlies. Brandon Clark from three missing. Vooch with the rebound. Nikola Vucevic with the rebound. Levine for the T. It's Derrick Jones Jr. once more. Jones Jr., who is a past slam dunk champion. So we've got two slam dunk champions in the same team, Zach LaVine and Derrick Jones Jr. in for the Chicago Bulls. But it's quite surprising that the T has gone for the Chicago Bulls. They're really struggling this year in the East, and hopefully they make the playoffs. But with that man being injured, Lonzo Ball, the anchor of their defense, him alongside Alex Caruso, the anchor of their defense being injured, has really hurt them. But it seems like the T knows what he's doing, and they are doing really well. But Ja Morant, the player who reminds us of prime Derrick Rose, doing his stuff once again. The dribble drive move straight to the rack and gets the slam to fall. Quickly trade of buckets here from maybe the two of the best here. Were you expecting this?
Of course. Talking about the two of the best, definitely will come up against each other with no, breaks, because it looks like it is end-to-end action between them in this particular match. And I'm loving what I'm seeing right here. Very impressive first quarter game right here.
When we're speaking of MVP candidates, I forgot one name, and we are seeing him here now. Ja Morant already strutting his stuff. Ja Morant's leap from that 2019-2020 season is just mind-blowing. From his rookie season, it wasn't really good, but into that next season, well, he did win Rookie of the Year, but in his next season, man, his sophomore year, it was crazy. So Ja Morant making that big leap into that superstardom for the Memphis Grizzlies. But what a lob and what a finish. Derrick Jones Jr. and the T out with a 5-point lead in this one. But what a play to get the lob threat, Derrick Jones Jr. to get that slam to fall. That is the most impressive part about the Bulls. Vooch is a lob threat. Levine is a lob threat. Even DeRozan can get high and above. He's quite athletic too. As well, Desmond Bane, the sharpshooter on the Grizzlies, just can't get that one to fall for Nitrix. And we are going to see Nitrix switch up things a bit. But with the Grizzlies, the only problem is they are a bit young. It's a bit of inexperience, and that was why the Warriors beat them last year in the conference. But this year it seems like they're a bit matured, but they talk a lot. Ja Morant and his team talk a lot, and that is why a lot of people, should I say, hates them a bit, but they've been good. They deserve all their credit. Dylan Brooks now for the Grizzlies, and we've seen that reaching foul from the T, trying to prevent Nitrix from getting an easy basket to fall.
And I think on your screens now you can see the players that are in action. We have DT right there. He is with a red jersey, and of course Nitrix with a blue jersey right there. Some very handsome pair of young men right there facing off in this particular match, and it looks like DT is eventually gradually tearing apart from Nitrix. It looks like that might be that thin line between them, that thin line of skill and experience, and of course of excellence. 10-5 the points gap now.
Well, for the Chicago Bulls, it's really important that they get their interior defense to the point, and just as I was saying, Lonzo Ball gets the block, and DeMar DeRozan controlling affairs. DeRozan, one of the mid-range assassins in the NBA, looking to get things to fall. But with the Bulls, it just seems like expectations have dropped. The way last year they were really good, it hasn't been the same this year. You can blame that on the injury of their point guard Lonzo Ball to control affairs, but I still feel like they should have done a bit better this year. But the season hasn't ended. We're only halfway through, and definitely Zach LaVine and maybe, just maybe, DeMar DeRozan might actually play better for them. And for the Memphis Grizzlies, expectations are on them this year, because last year we didn't expect them to be this good, but because of Ja Morant's leap, they got into contending conversations. This year they haven't been too bad, but when they come up against the big teams, I noticed that they lose a lot in the regular season. But they can tell you it's just the regular season, and then maybe when the playoffs come around, we'll see them get into their form. Maybe they can also blame it on the injuries of Desmond Bain and Jaren Jackson, but hey, it's the NBA and it matters most in the postseason. So just maybe we might see the Grizzlies come back to full form. Here is Bandit Clark in the paint, kicks it out to Dylan Brooks, can't find that three. It has really been poor from the Grizzlies from deep. Only Morant has been able to get one down to 4. Levine for the T. The Rosen's definitely not going to make that three. Lonzo Ball from deep once more, gets it to 4.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful right there.
The man with high shooting efficiency last season. This season we haven't been able to see the Rosen, but well, Levine, but Lonzo Ball gets that 3 to 4, and the T widening the gap a bit. It seems like we thought it was going to be close, but Nitrix can't seem to find his way.
Definitely, I thought it was going to be close. I thought it was just going to be a thin line that would separate both players, but it looks like the T is on some form of his life. And coming into this tournament, I had news that he hadn't really been practicing. I mean, but then he still is showing class. Class is permanent, like you always say, and that is what DT is 7 as here today. And it is the Slamdunk Championship.
On Monday, we didn't know that class was permanent because Wonder Kid had class, but it seemed temporary on Monday. But different story. That is the fun about the Accra Esports week.
I think I need to look into my philosophy book and find another saying to describe what Wonder Kid went through right there. But then of course, it is all about the Accra Esports weekend. We are having fun right here inside day 3, where the Slam Dunk Championship is now ongoing on your screens here. DT versus Nitrix. Limo, let's go.
Well, we kick off into that third quarter. The Rosen looking for that short clock, looking for to draw that play. Vooch backs down his defender, Jaren Jackson. Really a good defender, but Vooch can't get it to fall, but Jackson fouls him. Well, it's a short clock violation, so pretty good defense from the Grizzlies and Nitrix. He really needs to be doing a lot of these to get back into the game. It's a 10-point deficit for him to cut down Desmond Bain. Obviously the best 3-point shooter on the Grizzlies. Finds Zaire Williams, can't get the shot to fall. That has been the problem for Nitrix. Anytime he defends well, he's not able to replicate the same form on the offensive end. The Rosen once more. Really shocking for the T. Lonzo Ball once more for 3. Ooh. We've got 2 3-pointers made from one of the Ball brothers. Interestingly, the interesting story about Lonzo Ball is he's got 2 other brothers who are really good at basketball, but it's only 2 that in the NBA, LaMelo Ball and Lonzo Ball. LiAngelo Ball just maybe might find his way into the NBA, and when they were coming into the NBA, the hype around them was massive. Their dad really did well to hype them up and then get them high draft pick spots. Lonzo Ball went into the draft at number 2. LaMelo went in at number 3 as well. So the Ball family is a really strong family.
Tell me, how difficult is it to get into NBA?
Wow, it's so difficult. We have about 500 players trying to get into the NBA, but in every draft year there are less than 100 players who make it into the NBA. So sometimes you can have the skill, but I think luck also counts, hard work also counts, and the talent also counts.
So with this statistic, looking at the fact that 500 go in, 100 are picked, where do the other 400 go?
Well, the leagues is not only the American League. We've got the Chinese League, the Spanish League. In fact, one of the best players in the NBA currently, Luka Doncic, wasn't from the NBA. He started out in the Spanish League for Real Madrid basket.
All right.
So you can start from somewhere and then you get noticed, and then the NBA definitely picks you up. So there are many avenues for getting into the NBA, but the NBA is definitely the highest ceiling for a basketball player to
do you think they may ever pick a player from Ghana so that I can probably start practicing and play?
Ghana's basketball league is not as widely noticed as the European leagues, the Chinese league, and stuff. Maybe when you play in the African league, because I'm hearing there's the BAL, the African league, the Basketball African League.
All right.
So if a Ghanaian player is really playing well in the African league, he can ship off to Europe, maybe play for Real Madrid, Barcelona. In fact, the big teams in Europe, and maybe, just maybe, we might have another Ghanaian player in the NBA. But speaking of Ghana, our Nigerian counterparts have a lot of
Oh
players.
yes,
in
they
the
are doing well.
NBA,
They are doing well.
A lot of them have Nigerian roots as well.
Exactly.
When you speak of Nigeria, definitely Giannis will come to mind. But
Definitely.
Bam also comes to mind. They've got Precious Achua in there from the Miami Heat. They've got a lot of players, the Nigerians. So kudos to the Nigerians for making Africa proud.
I mean, I think the battle that often happens between Ghana and Nigeria,
With
sometimes
the NBA segment, definitely Nigeria has won.
they are so clear. But then let's just get back into this game where it looks like the T is still on an ascendancy of points right here. 22 he has as against 10 that Nitrix is having here, and it's the last quarter.
Nitrix really struggling from deep. The team though just can't get that shot to fall. Patrick Williams, a really good three-point shooter, can't get that to fall. Marat into Brandon Clark, looking to get some quick points at the basket as the time is not on Nitrix's side. But DT's defense and Morant from 3 once more. The MVP candidate, showing why he deserves to be in that conversation, giving Nitrix some bit of hope going into the final 50 seconds. It might be a little bit too late as the T doing everything in his part to run down the clock. Well, Andre Drummond kicks it out to Alex Caruso. The reason why we are seeing the T use all of the clock, big block. Steven Adams, but a foul, and it seems like the T is trying to challenge that
the call. Yeah,
just maybe he might win the challenge, but so far so good for the T. He started really hot, and that is what I kept saying about this 2-quarter game for the tournament. You have to start hot. You really have to start hot, and it seems like the T understood the assignment, and it's really going well for him.
All right, so right now we are waiting for the call that has been challenged. Now, this looks like the VAR version of basketball. I'm wondering when the VAR will come into FIFA as well. Do you think it ever will?
I think so. With the way the game is evolving, just maybe. So with the Grizzlies challenging the call, I understand Nitrix for challenging the call. He has a chance, but he's lost that challenge, and the T goes back to the free throw line. That might just be it for Nitrix's chance to get back into the game. Might just have gone away. If he had probably won that call and maybe gotten some easy baskets to fall, just maybe he would have gotten back into the game. But it's an 11-point game. And Ja Morant, we've seen him go into that step back three a lot of times. And Morant drains from 3 as well. I've already made mention of the leap this year from 3-point range. It has been important for Morant to get those threes going for the Grizzlies. And one thing with Morant in threes last year was he realized he was being left open a lot, and it seems like he worked on them, and it's really working well for him. But it did help Nitrix in this game, and Morant once more seems to can't find a shot, and that is it. That is how the game is going to end. The T coming out flawless. He's still unbeaten in this tournament. It seems like class is indeed permanent.
Yes, for basketball today, class is permanent, and that is what DT is oozing. He is oozing lots and lots of class right there. Now, this was him coming up against another equally good player in NBA, but then it looks like he has actually come tops, and so kudos to DT for chalking that feed. It looks like he might be walking all the way to that grand prize of 500 Ghana cedis, and well, we only have to wait and see if he can actually do that, and see who can get next to him, get into that second place, winning 300 Ghana cedis, and also who will probably come up next and get that 200 CD prize that is slotted for the third place gift. So it is the Accra Esports Week, the Slamdunk Championship ongoing right here at the Esports Academy inside Hacho. It is an exciting day, and very soon we'll be talking to some of the players who would probably want to share a few experiences with us, how this particular tournament is going for them. But then stay tuned, we'll be back after this break.
Is it a bird? Is it a plane? Nope, it's Africa's very own superhero. Reinvented by one of the continent's foremost video game developers. Ghana's Leti Arts creates online comics and mobile games inspired by African folklore. The startup's first game, launched 3 years ago, has had more than 50,000 unique downloads. CEO Aram Tawia believes it's time to update the continent's history.
Africa has a really strong chance to change our narrative. And this is what our legends are going to do for us, bringing our rich culture into the 21st century. For once, I should see a spaceship land in Accra.
The global multi-billion-dollar gaming industry is dominated by Western developers. Leti Arts is hoping to change that. Starting with $100,000 of seed money from a tech incubator, it's designed a range of characters. 8 full-time members of staff now want to prove that African game developers can be major international players.
It's a whole new industry that we are building. We believe gaming is what is going to boost the GDP of most African countries when it is embraced, because everyone has a mobile phone, everyone texts, smartphones are increasing, middle classes are increasing. Gaming is the future. That is where Leti Arts is plowing, and that is what we are doing.
It's not been easy. Finding skilled staff is an issue. Game development isn't taught in Ghana's schools or colleges. Leti Arts has had to train its own developers, which takes time and money.
My skill, it was self-taught. You saw it started, I don't have any formal game education. Self-taught. It's just passion. So we are the pioneers and we will live with that. But we need to create a structure for people who are coming now.
Leti's investment in Africa's digital economy has paid off. Annual turnover is more than $165,000. It's enabled the company to open a branch in Nairobi, where it employs young Kenyan techs. Revenue comes from selling add-ons to gamers. Leti's also built bespoke training games for commercial and NGO clients.
Our immediate plan is the Africa's Legends reawakening, and then the rest will follow from there. To actually grow this franchise into a global franchise, I want to see DC and Marvel Comics license some of our characters for their African movies.
Profits have been reinvested back into designing its latest game. Leti Arts is blazing a trail for African game developers and hopes to give gamers a chance to see Africa differently. Amir Daftari, CNN.
Game on.
the Accra Esports Week, and we told you we have 12 gaming disciplines. Today we had for you the Slamdunk Championship NBA2K23, trying to find who are our two finalists, and I have them now here with me. After a series of games, we have two of our top players, DT and Terry. So DT on my far left, and then Terry very close to me. To talk to Terry, was it an easy thing for you to? I haven't really seen you play in a tournament. Is this your first time?
Oh, this is not my first time. I've been in one tournament and it was with DT. I actually went to the final with DT and he won. So I feel like this is like a chance for me to redeem myself, something of that sort.
Very interesting. So we've got redemption on the cards. I really like when the subplots come in. So DT, when Terry speaks of redemption, what comes to mind? Do you think he can get it?
Well, I mean, that's his opinion, but then I also have mine. I mean, hopefully to stay the same like the last tournament. Where I came out victorious.
Wow, so we've got two very confident players who think they can beat each other. But now let's delve into the gameplay. As we saw Terry stick with one team throughout, we saw him with the Golden State Warriors. Is it because they were champions? That's why you are using them?
I'm actually a Warriors fan.
Okay. That's what we love to see. That's what we love to see. For the team, I know he doesn't have a clear favorite of the team he uses. Because today we've seen him use the Bulls, we've seen him use the Nuggets, we've seen him using the Milwaukee Bucks. Out of the three, which one is your favorite?
Chicago Bulls.
But are you a Bulls fan?
I used to be when Derrick Rose was part of the team.
The MVP, Derrick Rose. But in 2K22, I know you used to go with the Clippers. What happened this time around?
You know how Clippers, they lack like very good big men.
Only Zubac in there.
But then when you go to the Chicago Bulls, even on their bench, you can actually start Andrew Drummond. He's very good. So
Vucevic in there as well.
And then he's halfway off him. He actually hates him a lot.
But there's this debate going around. That's the last question for both of you guys. I want to know your thoughts on this. The 73-9 Warriors, of course, the Warriors with the deadliest backcourt ever: Steph, Clay, Draymond Green, Iguodala, the whole squad versus Michael Jordan's Chicago Bulls. Who do you think is winning in a 7-game series?
I think the best the Chicago Bulls can do is just win one game.
Wow, big statement from the team. Terry, what do you think?
I'm actually a Warriors fan, but I'm going for the Chicago Bulls. Nobody beats Michael Jordan. Nobody. Absolutely nobody.
So you think Jordan is also the GOAT?
Of course he is.
Is Jordan the GOAT?
LeBron.
So we've got two split opinions, exactly what we're looking for in the final. On Saturday at the Accra Esports Stadium, we bring you the Slamdunk Championship final. It's the T who will be going up against Terry, who's looking for redemption this time around. Stick and stay with us. We bring you the final round of matches to complete the group stages.
Letty Arts is a video game development company that is using storytelling to change the African narrative by creating a series of comics and video games based on historical heroes, African heroes, brought into the 21st century reality. The gaming industry is the biggest in the West, and the sort of revenues that we see, Africa doesn't contribute to that. And that was the basis of our frustration, my frustration actually, to solve that, to make Africa part of the global pie. Africa has so many stories that are undocumented. So there's a need for Africa to preserve its stories in an exciting form. So that's the niche that we are serving. Our villains represent issues. So we have greedy presidents, corrupt religious leaders. We use these characters to tell the stories. My greatest motivation is retelling our stories in modern, engaging, and interactive forms, because we kill our African stories. It's a niche market, it's an untapped market, and Africa could become the biggest continent, producing 3 times those revenues.
Stranded in the open.
I will banish you to Chaos Realm. Chaos? Now you're talking!
right, so we're back here in the Esports Academy studios where we are bringing to you the Accra Esports Week. Of course, the very third day of this event. Mind you, we started from Monday, the 9th of January, and we are going through till Saturday where we are going to have all the grand finals of all the games that we are playing here in this particular festival of esports. It is Accra's biggest experience when it comes to esports matters. Of course, there is that 20,000 Ghana cedis. Very big money. If you were to get that money, what will you do? You have plans, right? What are some of your plans, Slimo?
Like, you see, sometimes when you don't have the money, you can plan for the money. But when the money lands,
when the money comes,
you're confused. That's
the plans change.
Right now, I'm confused.
All right. But I'm sure a lot of these players are already excited with the prizes that they are going for. Mind you, in the FIFA Conquest, we have 2,000 Ghana cedis to be won. But then today, with the NBA2K23, it is rather a small community, so their money is small. Don't worry. But then 500 cedis is enough to cater for.
Oh, definitely.
For a weekend or for a whole week.
Oh,
how much will you use, or how long will 500 cedis last on you?
Probably, I think a week is fine.
A week is fine. So that is enough to cover for a week. But then mind you, the registration was just free. Nothing was paid. And so Accra Esports Week, so exciting, so amazing. So right about now, we are wrapping up on the Slamdunk Championship, just the qualifying stage, because the final is going to be played on Saturday at the Accra Esports Stadium. I'm sure you've already seen those two gentlemen that are going to walk in there to play the last group matches. DT coming up against Terry in that match. But then, what did you make up from their interview? What did you find out?
Just what I wanted from a final matchup. There was everything. They are both divided in all of their opinions. Terry thinking he wants redemption on the T, because I'm hearing the T has beaten him in the final before.
He has.
And then the T also, of course, he'll definitely back himself to win the game. And then you quite remember I threw up a question that the Chicago Bulls, well, the dynasty, Michael Jordan's dynasty, Chicago Bulls versus the 73-9 Warriors, who they thought would win. We also had split opinions. The T thought the Bulls would only win one game out of a 7-game series. Wow, Michael Jordan only winning one game. Wow, and you could tell Terry wasn't agreeing with that. He thought Michael Jordan was the GOAT. You definitely will win that series. And the T also thinking LeBron James will be the GOAT. So exactly what you want from a final. Two split opinions, two different players, and hopefully this final is a big one.
All right, so but then before that final on Saturday, they just have to complete their group stages matches, and so that is what we now are about to see in that final group stage match. Mind you, both players are drawn up on 12 points each. Yes, and so this particular match will be that breaker before they come up against each other again in that finale here. It was a round robin series that was played. So now we are getting into the game between, of course, DT and Terry. DT playing with the Chicago Bulls in their red kit, and of course the Boston Celtics, they are in their white with green accents here. So Slimo, take us away.
Well, the Bulls control the tip as Vucevic beating the big man Rob Williams to the tip, and the T already having the first 2 points on board. Tatum gets it to fall, but funny enough, we aren't seeing Terry use his favorite team, the Golden State Warriors. I don't know if it's because it's a group stage here. Maybe he doesn't want to sell out his tactics to the T, but the T definitely using one of his teams in the game. But mind you, this is a preview before the final on Saturday.
Exactly.
And for now, it seems like the T coming out with a 2-point lead in that first quarter. And here comes Terry. Jason Tatum looking to operate in the half court, bouncing it through the leg. Tatum, the dribble drive move. Tatum blocked by Vooch. Just as the T says, they've got a lot of threat in the paint. The defense is there in the paint. When you have Vucevic as your main starting center and Andre Drummond comes off the bench, you definitely can tell that they've got a good interior defense. And Nikola Vucevic blocking Jason Tatum off the ball as the T now up with that 4-point lead. Smart driving down to the baseline. Well, White from 3, and he's fouled. A foul from 3, so he's definitely going to the free throw line for 3 free throws. They're quite a really impressive free throw shooter. We'll see if he can make all 3 of them, and that's the second one to fall. Green time free throws, and we've seen the last one also fall. So Terry making good use of their White's excellent free throw shooting. We've just got a point to separate them. Just as you'd expect from two finalists. Levine from deep can't get it to fall. Vooch can't get the offensive rebound as Al Horford gets that rebound. But interestingly, the Celtics don't have Rob Williams in the lineup for Terry. You can tell he's going for a lineup that can space out fully because Rob Williams doesn't have that perimeter shooting. So him going for Grant Williams in there definitely spaces out the floor, and Rob Williams drops to the bench. Maybe he can come off as a lob threat for them. Tatum from deep and gets it to fall.
Huge one.
Jason Tatum really in red hot form as Terry answering the T with that three. The T looking to beat that clock, but DeMar DeRozan, who's been really quiet today for the T, couldn't get that shot to fall. What do you make of the first quarter? Do you think it's worthy to be called a preview of a final?
Definitely. That is an awesome preview of a final that we are witnessing right here. Excellent action from both players. Now, wow, quite a final we are definitely going to be witnessing, because even this, that probably might be a practice of a final for them. They aren't slowing down on the brakes. I mean, they are not even putting their feet on the brakes. It's all gas for them, and it's quite an exciting game to watch right here. I wanted to ask this question though: is it inevitable to not make fouls in a match? Like, I mean, a 2K23 match, can you just go through without making a single foul? Is it possible?
Well, for 2K, it's a game. It's a game of should I say simulation. So maybe if it's a two-quarter game, you might just not foul. But if you are serious, if you really want to win the game, you definitely will have to foul, because you have to contest shots, and sometimes contesting the shots might come up with the foul. So in tournaments like this, where we have the best players go head to head, there are definitely going to be fouls. And there, a ball from three. The T really likes Lonzo Ball from deep, as we saw in that. Though in his other group game, Lonzo Ball really hot from three, and of course he definitely is one of those players with high shooting efficiency from deep. Tatum tried to step back, gets it to Derek White. Jason Tatum once more. We've seen Terry go back with the isolation, step back. Tatum looking to draw the final play at Tatum with 3 left of the shot clock. Jason Tatum executing the half-court set as Terry, what a brilliant dribble drive move, gets the layup to fall. And Terry now within 2 points off of the T. The T, can he answer? Derrick Jones, Lonzo Ball, into DeMar DeRozan, who was excellent last season. This season, not really being able to replicate such a form. The T, with now just 4 seconds on the shot clock. Vooch has to get one up, can't get it to fall. Al Horford with a rebound. And the Eastern Conference champions can run. Terry Smart looking to run down the clock. Of course, the second quarter is just about to come to an end. Marcus Smart gets it out to Horford. Brilliant defending from the Boston Celtics. Smart, is he going to hoist one up? Smart with a step back three, can't get to the fall, and we are at halftime. Definitely a game befitting to call a final before a final.
And my head just keeps moving from the left to the right, because the action is just going back and forth right there between both players, and that is very beautiful. That is very awesome. I really wish this was the actual final, but then I just have to wait to see what they can bring up again on Saturday at the Accra Esports. You know, of course, it's Accra Esports week right here. So exciting, so much fun, and I think I've actually enjoyed this NBA much more than the FIFA was.
Well, I understand, because esports is all about fun.
Exactly.
Today you could have fun, and even tomorrow you could even have more fun.
Of course.
So that is what it's all about. That is what the excitement Accra Esports
definitely. But then let me bring to you your reminder that tomorrow we have the Velocity Championship. That is the sim racing Gran Turismo coming up tomorrow. Also, there will be the e-football contest also happening live right there. So there's a lot in store throughout till Saturday, where we have the finals coming up. That is the Accra Esports week for you. So let's just get back into this game and what's happening, Slimo.
But we get back into that third quarter where Andre Drummond makes all free throws. Doesn't really happen in real life. He usually misses one, but the T is that good. He can get to green time. Andre Drummond, that tells you the level at which they play. Derek White from three. No, he can't. Terry can't get that three to fall, and the T's lead is still at 4. Levine leaves it to Lonzo. DeRozan back to Lonzo. Really good ball movement from the Bulls. Levine from 3, can he get it to fall? Heavily contested, but Drummond doing what he does best on the rebound, gets it again. Andre Drummond, really a beast in the paint, and he's getting all the offensive rebounds for the team. Really good second chance points for the Bulls, and Levine is fouled. Levine is fouled as the Bulls enter the bonus, but it seems like Coach Ime Udoka really looking to challenge this call. Let's see if Terry is going to challenge the call. But the T really impressive, and Andre Drummond really taking all the headlines with those offensive rebounds. You can see the replay of that shot. Is that a foul? What do the refs think? We'll get to know in a few seconds time.
I think it's a foul, so I'm just hoping for the referee after that review to actually call for the foul to be given to DT. And it looks like, wow, this is quite a long challenge right here.
Definitely. We'll have to go into the timeout to actually watch that review, and we'll see who actually wins that call. If it goes in favor of Terry, I think it's going to make the game even more interesting, because Terry can get some points on board. Go into that quick isolation. He's been setting that play for Jason Tatum. It's really working for him. I think if he gets Jaylen Brown more into the game, the defense might actually get the focus off of Tatum, and Tatum might be able to do more damage. But the T gets the call to go his way. So the Boston Celtics lose that timeout, and the T gets the free throw to fall as well for Zach LaVine. Marcus Smart with a shot clock running down, 14 seconds off of the shot clock. Tatum from deep, can he get to go? No, he can't, but Horford doing really well with a second chance point. Brown heavily contested, and he's got the foul. Jaylen Brown at the line for 3, missing the first one. Jaylen Brown, a really good free throw shooter, 85% free throw shooter.
Wow.
Just couldn't get it to fall for the first one, but he's definitely going to get those other 2 to fall as well. So definitely the Bulls are in the bonus, so I'm sure the T is definitely going to be foul baiting in here. Levine, can he go coast to coast? Levine, well, he leaves it out to Lonzo Ball. Derrick Jones back to DeRozan. DeRozan really quiet in this game. Levine back with the ball, calls for the pick and roll with Andre Drummond looking for the lob, but he misses it, and the Celtics can run with it. But Horford, not really the quickest on the court, and he exchanges that pass with Marcus Smart. We've seen the big man, Rob Williams, check in. Jason Tatum trying the baseline, but the big block this time around from DeMar DeRozan. The man who recently made that move from the Raptors, well, from the Spurs to the Chicago Bulls, making that big block to keep the lead at 4 for the T. Very competitive. I just like the way it has been competitive, because sometimes when you have games like this, the players don't want to play well, and then they don't want to give out their tactics. But it seems like
secrets,
more tricks out there.
Definitely, there are some tricks. Probably they are keeping on to waiting until that very grand finale to be released. But then let me remind you that this grand final happening on Saturday. Wow, what a show there. I mean, DT just does these 3-pointers with such ease.
The set plays are really good. We saw that dribble drive from Zach LaVine getting into the paint, baiting that he was going to get the layup, pulling out, and then of course he gets in that 3. Lonzo Ball once more, really good defense from the T and the Bulls. Ball, really good ball movement from the Bulls. The pick and roll coming from Andre Drummond. LaVine from deep once more, can't get it to fall. Rebound Tatum, can the Celtics run with it? Terry, time is running out, really needs a quick bucket with this one. Tatum, it's a Brown from 3, heavily contested, definitely really heavy contested, as the Bulls and the T come away with it, and the T seemingly interestingly looking for it to top in that group. And DeRozan at the line, serial killer at the free throw line, missing the first free throw. That is going to be good news for Terry, but he makes the second, and it's now an 8-point game with just under a minute to go in the fourth quarter. Tatum looking to beat his man of the dribble, step back 3, Tatum can't get it to fall. Another rebound for Drummond. He's been living off of those rebounds, and it has been really impressive. So about 5 boards for Andre Drummond in this game. LaVine as DeRozan going back to the line, a technical foul called on the Boston Celtics. Terry really losing it in this one, and we might just see the T top that group. Rob Williams with, well, no statistics to show for, as he didn't start that game. Not really surprising. DeRozan, the mid-range assassin, just couldn't get that shot to fall. And in these final few seconds, I think Terry would have learned a lot about the T, and the T would have learned a lot about Terry. So just maybe when they go home, they're definitely going to be doing a lot of training.
Obviously, a very important opportunity for both players before they hit it into the final. It's an opportunity to see how, they will be coming up against each other and what they should be putting in that game. But then obviously, the T seems to have the upper hand, and I hope he doesn't get complacent and just comes into the Saturday final without any practice. But then talking about that final, it is actually going to be played over a best-of-5 series match, and also there is 500 cities going for the winner, 200 cities for second place. Third place wouldn't be
So
getting
both
anything.
of them are already guaranteed money.
Yes, they are already guaranteed. Yeah, they are in the money zone. We can call it that way. And that brings us to the very end of the group stages of the NBA 2K23, the Slamdunk Championship right here. And we have ended this in grand style.
Definitely,
BT coming up against Terry. Terry was on some sort of a revenge mission, but then I'm sure at a point in time he probably slowed down and said, no, let me give this guy, that mindset. Mourinho is that man who could play mind games like that.
Definitely.
He'd probably, fake an ill gameplay, making you think that, oh, I've got him, and then in a second leg encounter, he'll just come at you with a bang. But then unfortunately, DT took advantage of that, and he has won this particular final group match, 21 points to 12 points from Terry. And so that means that automatically DT is up there on the group stage with 15 points. And of course, next up is Terry with 12 points, and Nitrix came close with 6 points. Unfortunately, Prince didn't get a point. And Chris didn't get it. No, actually, Prince had 3 points because Chris actually forfeited his remaining game, and so Chris went home with no points. And then that brings us to the very end of the NBA 2K23 match. But then we have an important figure we'll be speaking to wrap things up here for Accra Esports Week Day 3. And so we'll be back after this break with a very important conversation. Stay tuned. But if you really want to probably go prepare, come back tomorrow.
Letty Arts is a video game development company that is using storytelling to change the African narrative by creating a series of comics and video games based on historical heroes, African heroes, brought into the 21st century reality. The gaming industry is the biggest in the West, and the sort of revenues that we see, Africa doesn't contribute to that. And that was the basis of our frustration, my frustration actually, to solve that, to make Africa part of the global pie. Africa has so many stories that are undocumented. So there's a need for Africa to preserve its stories in an exciting form. So that's the niche that we are serving. Our villains represent issues. So we have greedy presidents, corrupt religious leaders. We use these characters to tell the stories. My greatest motivation is retelling our stories in modern, engaging, and interactive forms, because we kill our African stories. It's a niche market, it's an untapped market, and Africa could become the biggest continent, producing 3 times those revenues.
All right, guys, so welcome back to the stream. Of course, we're live on our YouTube channels and Facebook channels. It is Accra Esports Week. Also, you can join us on all our socials. Please, if you're on the stream, whenever you join the stream, kindly please share to your communities, share to your friends, share to your family, share on your statuses, share everywhere. Let people know of the good news of the Accra Esports Week, which is the biggest esports experience ever to hit the country, to hit the city, and in fact to hit the continent and globe right here from Accra. And I've been joined by one very important personality when we talk about gaming, when we talk about esports, and I'll let him introduce himself. So, boss, please tell us who you are.
Yes, so Aram Tawia, I'm the CEO and co-founder of Letty Arts and the interim president of the Gamers Association Ghana, which is the association for game developers in Ghana. Yes.
Fantastic. Now, you've heard it from himself. He is a very big man.
Oh.
In fact, he's been... Please, how many years have you been in this space?
Over 13 years now as Letty Arts, but a lifetime as Aram, actually.
Wow. Fantastic. So there's a lot of experience, there's a lot of knowledge and wisdom that this man exudes. But then tell us, game development in Ghana, in Africa, how has the journey been so far?
It's been amazing, and for us, for me personally, as an industry person, I've seen this industry start from when it was nothing.
Exactly.
So seeing all this happening now, you can imagine the joy that I have in my heart and blood now as I'm here, right? So it's grown very fast. When we started even 12 years ago at Letty in 2009, there were very few game development houses across Africa. So we are kind of the first full-time game development house in sub-Saharan Africa. So seeing now studios springing up across Africa, across countries. Now we have in Ivory Coast, Nigeria, to the extent that esports has also grown into a competitive gameplay, right?
That's right. Into an industry, actually.
It's amazing. And for us game developers, we are even we are now an association.
Okay.
Right. At Africa level, we have the Pan-African Gaming Group, which is a professional body.
Wonderful.
And also just established the African Game Developers Association, also growing.
Wow.
Then in Ghana, just last year, we have the Gamers Association Ghana, which is also a developers, like a community of developers, right? So tagging along with the Esports Association, which has the competitive play of video games, we are trying to push the industry to a point where the next Accra Esports Week, we can have 50-50, where local games will also be competing on these big screens for you to be giving us a good shoutcast on our local games.
Wow, now that is coming from the man himself. So please, next year, look out for Ghanaian games being played here at the Accra Esports Week. But then about Letty Arts, tell us into detail what happens, what goes into game development.
Yes, so basically, you know, game development or the gaming industry is one that combines extreme arts and science together into a technical product called video games. So video game is both an extreme technical product and an extreme creative artistic product, right? At the same time, working hand in hand.
Beautiful.
So it encompasses all skill sets. In the value chain, gaming is one of the only few industries where the making can make you money, the playing can make you money, and the creation, or the talking, or the post-marketing can also make you money on. So in making video games, you definitely involve almost every skill set. People ask me, well, what does it take to make a video game? I always tell people that, look, first is the zeal to make a game, right? Because to play a game, you have to have the zeal to play the game, right? The interest. So to make a game, you have to start thinking that how is this made? And that is how I started, right? I published a book about 4 years ago called Uncompromising Passion, telling about my journey. So as a child, you fantasize a lot. Like, you are glued to this fantasy world of video games, wondering who is moving this character or how is it moving.
Even more so in this generation, I mean.
More so in this generation, right? playing characters in a confined set of environment with rules and all that, competing against each other, wanting to win, is the simple definition of a video game. So if you really want to make it, you have to have that interest. And it only takes a pen and a paper to start jotting down your whole idea.
Fantastic.
I tell people that that's the fastest way to do a pre-production. So you are sketching out the whole idea, figuring out who is the player, how do I win, what are the rules, what are the constraints, and that is the role of a game designer. So automatically you become a game designer, putting together your first idea.
Wow.
Then after you put that together, you can now get into researching how this is actually made, or how it could progress to the next level, where you read about drawing characters, like being like having a concept artist to do a character, probably visualization, then looking at how to build it technically, like the programming side, where you have to learn about game engines using Unity, Unreal, or other JavaScript-based engines. And then you have to also look at the platforms that you want to launch the game on. Is it mobile, or is it console, or is it PC?
Sure.
Then you have to look at the sound of the game. Because when you design the game, every game comes with very great sound. Right? Everything has to be determined, right, in planning it. So we don't have any official schools yet, or universities yet teaching here in Ghana. Africa-wide, we have some universities like Wits University in South Africa and North Africa. So South and North Africa have some formal education in there that you can take games to probably master's level. But we are all coming up. We have the Gamers Association Ghana, now made up of over 250 members on WhatsApp. Yeah, developers from BCE, like from JSS, even primary school kids are making games. And we want to provide value across. So we are bringing up curriculums that actually work here in Africa, right, to entice parents to make their kids call themselves video game developers, right? Making a game is no joke. It's not play. It's actually serious business, right? And the same way the esports is also saying that playing the game is also serious business. So making a game is also serious business.
Wow,
right?
now
So that's how we really want to develop the ecosystem, both in the curriculum aspect, in the training aspect, to build more game artists, build more game programmers, build more game sound engineers, build game lawyers, game IP lawyers, IP marketers, game journalists, right? Game comment shoutcasters, you know, so a whole value chain that's going to provide employment for the whole ecosystem.
All right.
Yeah.
Now that's interesting. I'm sure Mr. Aram would particularly need a whole day to give out all of the information that he has stored within him over the 13 years that he's gathered them. But then let's talk about Accra Esports Week. What are your remarks so far? We've gone in 3 days, and you are partnering this event. What are your remarks of this event?
I think as a maiden edition, it's been amazing. I'm very impressed with the turnout, the crowd, the gamers, the enthusiasm behind every event, no matter how small or how disorganized it is. We embrace everything and are happy, you know. So I'm very impressed with how the whole setup, the streaming, the teams, the composure of players, the seriousness of the players, right? Knowing that, yes, I'm really coming here to make a difference. And as a partner from the Gamers Association Ghana, we've also been, I love how we've exhibited our upcoming products to the esports community. People are playing FIFA and they are like, wow, people are also making FIFA here from Ghana. And they are excited that in next events or very soon they will be playing local games from different studios from the association. I think there was a studio here in virtual reality from Dunga Studios from the Gamers Association who came to display their soccer virtual reality
Oh,
game.
wonderful.
Right. So next time you can actually play, have a
I would
sport
want
around
to. I would
VR
want to.
competition.
Yes, yes,
So
yes, yes.
like it's been remarkable, it's been amazing, and I think the organizers, Pop Out, Maximus, Kwesi, Presido, they've really done well to put this together.
Now, that's a human's job that our organizers have done together, and it's quite exciting that my guest here has highlighted that. So, to wrap up, please, next year we are seeing Letty Arts on board with a game that I can play against you.
Yes.
All right. Now, for people who want to probably follow Letty Arts to get to
Yeah.
know more, please kindly let them know how they can do that.
Yes, so you can just find us on our social media, Instagram at Letty Arts, Facebook across, it's all at Letty Arts. Personally, my ID is Uzutax. And you can also follow the Gamers Association Ghana on Instagram with the tag Game Dev Ghana.
Okay.
So you can check that.
All right.
You can also check our website, which is gameghana.org. And then you can join the association. We have about 70 registered studios now as part of the association, and Letty is a proud member of the Gamers Association Ghana as well. So yes, that's how to follow us.
All right, and so with that being said, we will want to draw curtains on day 3 right here at the Accra Esports Week. But then we are not done with the day. There's actually a Call of Duty mobile game warfare happening as a part of the Accra Esports Week Festival. So you can head to the Ultimate Battle channel on YouTube, Ultimate Battle, and you can continue the action right from there, where Motherland Gaming TV is right there supporting that push. And so we will want to wrap up here. My name is Vespa Kofi Sapon. I've been host, and I did this with my brother Slimer, who's unfortunately exited early. But then we'll be coming to you tomorrow with more action from the eFootball Conquest and also from the Velocity Championship here. We'll be having the sim racing, in fact, with the Gran Turismo. And watch out for me right there with my steering wheel. And so with that, I say goodbye. Have a great evening.